Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is a scary, unsettling fact about you? I killed someone in self-defense. Went through the entire court process with his family sobbing hysterically and never felt a single emotion about it. And I'm a pretty emotional guy. People process things differently. Given that this was self-defense, I don't think it's fair to judge you for feeling nothing. Could be your mind's defense mechanism to protect you from a traumatic situation. When my grandfather died, it took my days to feel emotion. This is a weird one, but I promise you, no bullshit. I had a metal screw, bolt roughly 1.5 inches long stuck in my right lung from age 2 to 17. I must have put it in my mouth as a toddler and it got there somehow. Anyway, the unsettling bit is that I always knew there was something seriously wrong with my body. Because my whole life I would have instances in which I coughed uncontrollably. Many times coughing up blood. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. But I never told anyone. Dad was neglectful and Mom was always working, so it was relatively easy to hide. If it happened at school, I'd excuse myself to the restroom until it stopped. No one ever showed concern those 15 years, so I guess I kept it to myself well enough. I never told anyone, because even as a small child I was very unhappy with life and wanted it to be over. I guess I figured my mystery illness would get me eventually. So I kept it a secret so I wouldn't get treated. It all came to a head at 17 when playing ball at the park with my parents, siblings, and some friends. I got a decent hit and ran around the bases when I started coughing. After sitting back down I tried to hold it in, but I couldn't. And this time it was too bloody to hide and no bathroom to go to. So my step-uncle noticed after a minute or two. Everyone is crowded around me while I'm coughing up a shitload of blood in and around a trash can. My little brother told me after that they actually sent guys in hazmat suits to clean it up because they didn't know if whatever was wrong with me was contagious. But anyway, got to the hospital, got the x-ray which showed the screw lit up like Christmas imposed over my rib cage. Dr. Guy just went, "Well, there's your problem." I guess he was trying to lighten the mood since everyone was understandably freaking the fuck out. 2 weeks of surgery, 3 total, and it was out. I still have breathing issues, but the cough is gone now. I made the screw into a necklace which I wear sometimes because I find it oddly comforting to be reminded of my own mortality. I know that's weird, but it's just sort of how I am, all things considered. I never told my family I knew there was something wrong with me. Because telling them would mean admitting to them that I wanted to die the whole time. I still struggle with mental health crap for this and many other reasons I won't get into. But things are a lot easier than they used to be. But anyway, if you actually took the time to read about my weird little life, I appreciate your time and hope your day is pleasant. Edit. Fixed some typos. Thank you all for your kind words. A few asked for a picture, so here you are. Yes, it was that shiny when it came out too. Stainless steel is properly named apparently. https://imager.com/a/wwcof5s edit 2. Hey, thanks for the awards. They are neato. I have to go to bed for a bit before work. But if you all continue asking questions, I'll try to get to them later. Take care of yourselves. And give someone you care about a hug for me. Edit 3. It's okay if some of you don't believe me. I have no reason to lie to you, but I get how unbelievable my story is. I will think about sharing a photo of the shoulder scar, but I'm not promising anything. Would have to be shirtless for thousands of people and I don't want to do that. It's this big. What the fuck? Legit, the only thing I can wonder is how did this not kill a toddler? Damn, he's immortal. I was not expecting it to be that huge of a screw, tbh. Damn. I'm glad they didn't give you an MRI. Yeah. Cold sweat smile, that would have been painful and would take forever to clean up. Funny enough, I'd never been through a metal detector that whole time, so I never got to find out if I beeped or not. Would have been funnier if the doc had said, "Well, there's your problem. Your lungs are screwed. Glad you recovered though." Not sure if it's scary, but my dad odded on heroin and died. I probably could have saved him. I went downstairs at like 1 a.m. to get a drink and saw the bathroom door closed with the light on. I thought about pounding on the door to scare him, which is something I would do to mess with him. I walked up to the door, went to knock on it, but thought to myself, nah, don't mess with him, and I walked away. Woke up later finding out he was dead from an OD. It's not your fault. You didn't know he was overdosing in there. Thank you. This happened 15 years ago, but it still crosses my mind sometimes. This is scary, not your fault, and I'm sorry for your loss. I was close to being in a similar boat. I was mad at my parents but sitting on the couch next to my dad. I had my headphones on and was watching YouTube and ignoring them. After a while I see my mom come out of her room and she clapped her hands a few times and was saying something, so I took my headphones off. She was saying my dad's name. He was overdosing literally inches from me and I was totally unaware. He ended up being okay though, thankfully. OMG, that's terrible. I'm so glad he's okay. I can't imagine that with a parent, but something similar happened to me in October with my husband. I didn't feel good and he stayed home from work for the day. I laid down and took a nap, and I woke up suddenly and saw him sitting at the end of the bed. I almost closed my eyes again, but I felt like something was wrong. I turned the light on, and his arms were postured up all stiff and he was blue and his eyes were fucking open. I scrambled for a phone. Mine was dead and I couldn't find his. I plugged mine in and tried to get him into a position I could breathe for him. He fell between the bottom of bed and the dresser and I couldn't pull him. Phone turned on. I held the emergency button in while I tried to breathe for him in the position he was in. 911 answered and I told them my husband was dead. I was sure he was dead. His eyes were open and fixed. But I kept breathing for him and trying to move him and finally he made a noise. But I thought it was my air coming out of him. It was probably the worst 10 minutes of my life, waiting for the ambulance. They gave him Narcan and that's how I found out he relapsed that morning. I thought it was his heart. He's older than me, and has had 2 heart attacks. He's back on Suboxone, and absolutely fine now, but I look at him every day and can't believe he's alive and fine. I thought for sure he was gone. I asked him to stay home and I took a nap. Makes my heart race and stomach hurt just typing this out. It was so terrible. I can't imagine this happening with a parent. I'm so sorry.